With less than 14 days to the commencement of the 21st edition of the Global Football Fiesta in Russia, Nigeria's Super Eagles will again have the honor to represent Africa at the greatest football fiesta for a record, 6th time. In the report, we reveal 7 former Eagles stars who have had more privilege to represent Nigeria severally at most prestigious football showcase, the FIFA World Cup. Interestingly, the list contains Eagles stars who participated in more than one FIFA World Cup, since Nigeria's debut at the 15th edition in USA '94. 1 Vincent Enema, 2002, 2010, 2014, 8 games. Out of favor, Lille goalkeeper Vincent Enema is the only active player in the list of exclusive Nigerians with most World Cup appearances after 8 games across 3 World Cups in Japan, Korea 2002, South Africa 2010, and Brazil 2014. Enema was a member of the Super Eagles squad from 2002 until October 2015. Serving as captain from 2013 until his retirement from international football. The former Enimba and Ibom Stars goalkeeper marked his debut for the Eagles against Kenya's Harambee Stars in May 2002, and since then, he never looked back as he was later listed for the 2002 FIFA World Cup in Korea, Japan as a cover for Ike Shorunmu. Upon Shorunmu's retirement, Enema became Eagles' first-choice safe hands, helping Nigeria to third-place position at the 2004, 2006, 2010 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments, as well as captaining the Nigeria to victory at the 2013 edition in South Africa. Enema with 101 caps is Nigeria's most capped player of all time, after participating at 3 World Cups, as well as the 2013 FIFA Confederations Cup in Brazil. During his last appearance at the world stage at Brazil 2014, Enema kept his 3rd career clean sheet in FIFA World Cup games as Nigeria drew 0-0 with Iran and claimed a slim 1-0 win over Bosnia and Herzegovina, to ensure Nigeria earned her first win at the tournament since the 1998 edition. Despite conceding thrice in the last match of the first round against Lionel Messi-inspired Argentina, as game ended in a 3-2 defeat for Nigeria, the goal minder ensured Nigeria progressed to the second round for the first time in 16 years. Enema, who won his 100th cap for Nigeria in a 1-0 loss to Uganda on October 8, 2015, quit international football but later reinstated himself in October 2017. However, the happily married Enema, a father of 3, has been technically ruled out from Nigeria's squad to this summer's World Cup in Russia. Rashidi Yekini, 1994, 1998, 8 games. Late Super Eagles forward, Rashidi Yekini also made the exclusive list of Nigerians with most World Cup appearances after featuring at the USA '94 and France '98. Yekini is also Nigeria's record goal scorer after scoring 37 goals for Nigeria in 58 appearances. Interestingly, the former UNTL Kaduna and 3 FC ace netted Nigeria's first ever goal in a World Cup, in a 3-0 win against Bulgaria at USA '94. Till date, his goal's celebration act, crying while holding the net, remains an iconic image of the FIFA World Cup. In addition, Yekini helped the Eagles claim the 1994 Africa Cup of Nations in Tunisia, where he also topped the goal charts and was named best player of the tournament. Professionally, Yekini's professional career spanned more than 2 decades, and was mainly associated with Portugal's Vitória de Setúbal, but he also plied his trade in 6 other countries beside the Nigeria's domestic league. In April 2005, the 41-year-old Yekini made a short comeback, alongside former national teammate, Mobiape Irako after joining Abeokuta-based Gateway United FC where he played his last pro football. Sadly, on May 12, 2012, Yekini died at the age of 48 in Ibadan, Oyo State. Peter Rufai, 1994-1998, 8 games. Ex-Super Eagles shot stopper, Peter Rufai, who started his career with Stationery Stores FC and Femo Scorpions, also played professionally in Belgium, the Netherlands, Portugal and Spain, in a career that spanned 2 decades. Rufai with 8 games at the global stage featured at 2 FIFA World Cups, USA 94 and France 98 where he was always a starter as well as captain. Dodo Manana, as he was fondly called by the fans and admirers, equally helped the Eagles claim the 1994 African Cup of Nations in Tunisia. After the France 98 World Cup, Rufai quit international football after earning 65 caps for Nigeria from 1983-1998. However, the shot stopper returned to club football as Spain's Deportivo de La Coruña as backup for another African, Jacques Songu, for 2 campaigns. In 2003, Rufai returned to Spain to open a goalkeeper's school after retiring from active football while at Portugal's Gil Vicente in 2000. Sunday Allies, 1994-1998, 8 games. Born in Abovo, Delta State, on September 14, 1974, Sunday Agashukwu Elias is another ex-Super Eagles captain and midfielder who also played 8 matches for Nigeria after appearing in 2 World Cups, USA 96 and France 98. In his playing career, Elias, a technically gifted defensive midfielder, plied his trade with some of the world's famous clubs that includes AFC Ajax, Borussia Dortmund and Juventus F.C. to mention but a few. At the international stage, Elias, who started his club football career at Julius Berger in 1989, excelled with Nigeria at the Atlanta Olympics Games in 1996, winning the gold medal. In his second World Cup at France 1998, Elias is widely remembered for the wonder goal strike against Spain's La Roja, that saw Nigeria claim a 3-2 over the European powerhouse in the group stage fixture. Painfully, despite captaining the Eagles to the 2002 African Cup of Nations in Mali, Elias was omitted from Nigeria's World Cup squad to Korea, Japan due to disciplinary reasons. After failing to make the cut in June 2002, Elias, with 63 caps for Nigeria, quit international football. 4 years later, at the age of 31 in January 2006, after spending 17 as a professional footballer, Elias decided to quit while at Belgian top club KRC Genk. Fini die George, 1994-1998, 8 games. With a total of 8 games and 2 FIFA World Cup appearances in USA 94 and France 98, former Eagles right-winger, Fini die George also makes the list of players with most World Cup games. Born in Port Harcourt on April 15, 1971, The former Yuan-Yanwu Nationale Sharks ace excelled in the domestic scene before heading to Europe in search of the Golden Fleece in 1993 when he moved to Ajax in the Netherlands, winning 8 major titles, including the 1995 Champions League. He played several years in Spain with Real Betis, also having a brief spell in England before quitting the round leather game. On the international scene, Finidi made his debut for Nigeria in 1991, in an Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Burkina Faso, providing 3 assists for Rashidi Yekini as well as scoring once in a 7-1 demolition. The former Ajax star, aside from helping Nigeria win the African Cup of Nations in 1994 in Tunisia, represented Nigeria at USA 94 where he scored against Greece in a 2-0 win, proceeding to mimic a urinating dog as the Eagles reached the round of 16. However, Finidi and the Eagles' celebrations were cut short as after being bundled out by finalists, Italy. 4 years later in 1998, Finidi, now at Real Betis, returned for the 1998 edition of the FIFA World Cup in France, even though he had signified his intention to quit international football prior to the tournament. At France 98 proper, Finito, as he was fondly called by the fans and admirers, was in action in all 4 games Nigeria played before suffering a big defeat at the hands of Denmark, the round of 16 clash. In all, Finidi, now based in Palma, Mallorca, Spain, where he had relocated to upon retirement from the game in November 2010, earned a total of 62 caps for Nigeria. Augustine Akaka, 1994, 1998, 2002, 9 games. Former Super Eagles captain and midfield jewel, Augustine Azuka JJ Akaka, born on August 14, 1973, made 3 World Cup appearances for Nigeria at the US 1994, France 1998, and Korea, Japan 2002. Playing a total of 9 games before taking a bow in 2006. In a career that spanned from 1993-2006, the quick and skillful playmaker was regarded as the best Nigerian player of his generation, as well as one of the greatest African players of all time. Widely known for his dribbling skills, particularly the stopover, Akaka employed high technique and creativity in opening up opposition defenses. At the international stage, Akaka, despite making his official debut for Nigeria in their 2-1 1994 FIFA World Cup qualifier away loss against Ivory Coast's Elephants in May 1993, the skillful midfielder had to wait until his second cap before announcing his arrival at the big stage, as he instantly became a cult figure with the supporters. The Eagles were trailing 1-0 against Algeria's Desert Foxes, in a game they needed to win, but Akaka equalized from a direct free kick, and went ahead to help the team to a 4-1 win. A performance that eventually sealed Nigeria's first World Cup spot. Akaka was also an important squad member of both the victorious 1994 African Cup of Nations squad and the 1994 FIFA World Cup squad. At the Mundial, his skills ensured Nigeria progressed to the second round in her debut campaign before eventually losing out, in a dramatic circumstance, against eventual runners-up, Italy. After excelling with Nigeria at the Atlanta Olympics Games in 1996, the Nigerian side claimed the gold medal. He returned for the 1998 FIFA World Cup hosted by France. Sadly, it was a disappointing tournament as the Eagles failed to live up to expectations after again reaching the round of 16, before crashing out after the loss to Denmark. However, the disappointment did not stop Akaka from entertaining the fans with his trademark dribbles and skills. He ended up in the squad of the tournament as well as a move to Paris Saint-Germain, who paid Turkish club Fenerbahçe £10. 9 million for Nigerian, making midfielder the costliest African player at that time. 4 years on, Akaka again joined the Super Eagles for the 2002 FIFA World Cup co-hosted by Korea, Japan, but Nigeria failed to progress beyond the group stage after suffering 2 defeats and a draw. In March 2004, Akaka was named one of the top 125 living footballers by Brazil's football legend, Pelé. Despite failing to win African Player of the Year award, JJ as he was fondly called, won other individual prizes that include the inaugural BBC African Footballer of the Year and the successive one, becoming the only player to retain the award after winning it more than once. In 2007, in a poll conducted by the continent's football governing body, CAF, to coincide with her 50th anniversary, Akaka was voted number 12 on a list of the greatest African footballers of the past 50 years. With 14 goals in 75 appearances for Nigeria, Akaka is still regarded as a legend in some European clubs. For example, in Bolton Wanderers, the fans they remember his exploits, as well as in Fenerbahçe, where he was granted a dual Nigerian-Turkish citizen, having acquired Turkish citizenship as Muhammed Yavuz. Joseph Yobo, 2002, 2010, 2014, 10 games. With 10 games earned across 3 FIFA World Cup appearances at Korea, Japan 2002, South Africa 2010 and Brazil 2014, Joseph Philip Yobo is Nigeria's record appearance holder. Born in Kono, a community in the Kana area of Rivers State, on September 6, 1980, Yobo played as a centre-back for the Super Eagles and was the captain of the Nigerian national team until his retirement in June 2014. In Yobo's international career spanning over 13 years, the former Everton defence ace was capped 101 times, representing Nigeria at 3 FIFA World Cups as well as 6 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments. After participating in Nigeria's run to the 1999 FIFA World Youth Championship quarter-finals, Yobo debuted for the Eagles on March 24, 2001 against Zambia's Chipolopolo in a 2002 FIFA World Cup qualifier. The Rivers State-born Yobo was ever present in all 6 games Nigeria played at the 2002 Africa Cup of Nations in Mali and was included in the Eagles squad for the 2002 FIFA World Cup in Korea and Japan, where he was ever present, and assisted Julius Agha's goal in a 2-1 loss to Sweden in Kobe, Japan. At South Africa 2010, Yobo made his second World Cup appearance, after assuming the captaincy of the Eagles following Nwankwo Kanu's retirement from international football. Before the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations in South Africa, the veteran defender was no longer a first-choice player but was considered good enough after making Stephen Kesha's squad for the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil. At the Mundial, Yobo started the second and third group matches in Cuiabá and Porto Alegre, where his wealth of experience came in handy as the Eagles kept a clean sheet in a 1-0 victory over Bosnia and Herzegovina. The ex-Fenerbahçe star marked his 100th cap for Nigeria on June 30, captaining the Eagles against France's Les Bleus in the round of 16 clash in Brasilia. Painfully, after scoring an own goal in the 2-0 defeat, Yobo, who was later conferred with a chieftaincy title, Mina Ballrilo won by King Gnk Jinanwa of Ogoni Kingdom on Saturday, May 28, 2016, bowed out from international football, saying, "This is it. I can look back on my career with great pride. I wanted to leave on a high for my country. Defeat by France was not the right way to go, but I'm happy with all I've done for the national team. It's time to give a chance to other people to come through."